Hello, good people. Hello. This is episode 18, take 378 of Big Belly Pats. Uh, I'm Nick, and I'm tired. This is Daniel. How you doing?
Yep, I'm here. I'm here. I'm alive. I'm still here.
Nice, nice,
Can you hear me,
nice.
Nick? Take
Yeah,
652 can happen.
yeah. Can you hear me?
It's much better now. I can confirm everyone that episode 18 is gonna be alright now. We're gonna finish this recording.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can. Carry on with your wonderful introductions, please, because I can.
I don't even know what to introduce anymore. This is it's snowing outside slash raining.
Okay, alright, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's going on.
Uh,
For those
we
who's
had
wondering,
Temple
it's
Fair
still
today.
cold.
I don't know if you can.
Yeah,
Is it
what?
still cold there? Is it still super cold? Is it still super cold there?
Yes, yes. Not super cold, but yes, it's cold.
Okay.
Um,
And it's snowing, raining, snowing, sleet.
Slush, whatever you want to call it, all of the above.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, that sounds
Yeah.
about right.
Shini and Kwaila to
Yes.
to to those. That is Chinese New Year,
Shenyan
and
Kuala.
and for the people that don't know, in China for New Year you get about 3 months off. So
Hold on, just a week.
is
Where
it
did
only
you
a
get
week?
3 months off? They have like winter holiday that's combined the schools, but
Is it only
everybody
a
gets
week?
like a week off or 3 days, maybe two. There's no like 3 months holiday here.
Oh, the because Blandrew, he's in Bali for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, because most of the schools have if they have winter vacation now, they will have winter vacation overlap with Chinese New Year. So then they have like two months off, basically. No, I lied, a
Oh,
month, like 4 to 5 weeks off. Some schools, yeah.
okay. All right. Well, Daniel's off. I'm not. Uh, I do have some updates about my job, but I'm not going to air them out on here because I'm not excited about it. But I'll tell you about that.
Updates.
Yeah, I'll tell you about that off the pod, though.
Oh, okay, all right. I did not know
Yeah,
this. Oh, all
yeah.
right, okay. Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, man, I got some news.
What's the
Uh,
news?
my boy, now I can say it because it's official. Cello is back in Shenyang.
Oh, is he back here? Okay, cool.
He's back. He and I don't blame him. Honestly, if I was single and living in the U.S., if I moved back and I was still in the U.S., you already know I'd have came back or moved somewhere else. Um, and so yeah, man, he saved up. He said he had to save probably like $4,000, which is not too bad, not too hard, especially if you like living with your family and stuff. You ain't got too much expenses. Um, but he saved up and he's back. He's going to be working for. You ever heard of that school called Wonders?
Nice.
It's a he's working for a school called Wonders, and he's got his apartment, and he's back. He's officially in Shenyang. So shout out to Cello. Cello listens to our episodes. I will say,
He's
Cello,
Yeah, he does.
Cello, he does. He gives feedback, criticism, some things we're doing good and bad. And if you hear this, that's my boy. Love him to death. Uh, so yeah, man, I'm looking forward to taking a
Yeah,
trip
he
back
also agrees
and
with me
linking with
that
y'all.
Nick can't do math. We've come to the conclusion on YouTube when he comments, Nick can't do math.
Huh?
Yeah. So go to YouTube. Nick with Big Belly Pats, Nick runs Spotify. Nick runs Spotify and makes sure all our episodes get onto Spotify. But he doesn't always see the comments on Instagram and YouTube. And Stella and I chat on
I
YouTube
share the
sometimes.
stuff on Instagram.
Yeah, no, you do, but you don't have the page. I have the page. But on YouTube, Stella says, "Yep, Nick's math's never been that good." And I
What is
agree. Certain things that you
what?
say on the podcast, you have your math mixed up sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, but it's okay though. We love you still. We love you.
Hold on.
I don't know exactly what it was, and I don't want to mess with the internet right now. I don't want to go to YouTube and check what the comment was, but there was something that you said, I think in episode 15 or 16, that was just like, nah, the math
Okay,
don't
I
add up
see it.
there.
All right. Okay. Don Cello. Okay. Just gave you all this praise. I'm taking it all back. I hope you, Cello, if you listen to this, I hope you get like a booger in your nose and it's just sitting there and you can't get it out, but you can feel it. You just move your nose around all day. That's what I'm hoping for you for a week, your first week in China.
All right. Jeez, the shots have been fired already. Poor Blake, man. Wow, Nick, great friend you are.
But yes, I'm not a big YouTube guy. Um, I mostly watch YouTube to find out how to fix something or make something. Something's broke. Usually, if I'm on YouTube, it's something is broken around me, and I need to know how to fix it. So I go to YouTube. My algorithm on YouTube. I've watched a few of the Big Belly Pats episodes, but my algorithm is fixing stuff and music stuff. That's about it.
Nice.
I don't even think I have. I do have. I made a YouTube account to follow Big Belly Pats. Before this pod, I never had like my own actual YouTube account. I was just using the free whatever you get on YouTube.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough.
So
That's
yeah,
interesting. Interesting algorithms. Interesting
yeah. So
algorithms.
I just my. I'm pretty sure I got a D, a H, a D. I'm pretty sure one of those letters is in my brain somewhere. That coupled with football, and I was always a head hitter. So yeah,
Cool.
my what what is my two brain cells are fighting for third place. So someone told me.
Your concentration span.
Well, yeah, I told you before about my memory. It's two people in an office of 1,000 computers trying to answer to all the phones. They don't know which phone is ringing. That's
Yeah, yeah. That's
yeah,
pretty much most guy brains are like that. Most guys. All my
yeah.
boys in my class are the exact same. Their
Hmm.
brains are working overtime. They're like, and and you watch them. You just watch them do stupid things. And I know stupid is the wrong word to use in schools, but they just do dumb shit. They just do dumb shit, and you look at them and you're like, did you think walking up to that thing and doing that? Did you think it was okay? No, no. And you're like, yeah, oh, man. And you can't really get angry because you did the same shit when you were growing up.
Yeah.
And I read a comment, and it was on Instagram, and it was a video. And quick backstory: a 16-year-old in Australia was playing a prank, and what he did is he took a big bottle of milk, and I think it was in Melbourne, Australia, somewhere. They have the canals in the ocean that you can go through, like you're basically like picnicking on a boat going through the canal city. And he decided to pour milk all over the ladies while they're on the boat, while they went under the bridge. So the ladies were like, okay, cool, young man, sure. Phoned his school, got him expelled. Check. Phoned the police, got a criminal record. Check. Basically stuffed him up. Then he proceeded to come onto TikTok and plead, saying, how could they do this to him? He's only a minor, and they like his future's ruined before it's even begun. And the comments on this guy's TikTok, wherever he put this thing on, has been priceless. But my favorite comment, and I can't use it at school without permission. And the comment is, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
I missed all the punchlines of that.
Oh no, really? Okay. So my punchline, I'll repeat it for everybody, is play stupid games, win stupid prizes. That's it.
Oh,
That's
okay.
all I'm telling you, man.
Okay. Yeah, you were
Did you get
talking
that?
and it was I you were it was they called it school and then it was "Eep," and then it went quiet, and then it said, and then you were like,
Oh
and
man,
then
this is gonna be
you
a
came
long
back in
episode.
and you said, he said, and my favorite quote is "Eep," and I was like, okay. So, but I did hear
This
the
is how
gist
I
of it.
feel.
That
This
is,
is how
this,
I feel when you talking.
yeah, I did hear the gist of he poured milk on everybody and pretty much got into a load of shit. So,
Yeah,
and then
and
pleaded.
the moral of the story is, yeah, moral of the story is, play stupid games, win stupid prizes,
Yeah.
and that's it. That's my favorite. That's been my favorite thing that I've learned this whole week. I was just like, done and dusted. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Quote of 2024. There it is.
There you go. I feel like that's been a quote for a while though. Like I'm not saying like it's always been a quote, but one of those like whenever I see people do stupid stuff and they get surprised, you know. I said like there's a video of these two dudes on the subway, maybe like in New York, and
Mm.
so the one guy's on the subway, the other guy's off the subway, and the guy who's not on the subway is cussing out this other guy, and it's a white guy, and he's calling this black guy the N word and all this stuff. So the black guy's like, all right, I'm about to get off the subway, and the
That's
doors are
really
closing.
smart.
So he grabs the doors and trying to hold the door open. While he's holding the door open, the white guy leans in and like spits in his face, right? Thinking that this door is going to close, and this guy's going to be taken away. Nothing's going to happen. Uh, this black dude rips this door open now, and he
Oh,
gets out, and the white guy tries to run, and he runs up behind him. He trips him, so he falls, beats the shit out of this white dude, and people broke it up, but they let him get about a good 7 to 8 swings in before they pulled him off.
yeah, good. That's a good
And
amount.
it was the same thing. And I think like it ended up being like the police ended up coming, but someone obviously videoed the whole thing, and they showed the police, and they arrested the white guy.
Good,
I'm not trying to say that like it's a
good
whole
job.
race issue,
I love
but
that.
it's one of those play stupid games, you win stupid
We need
prizes.
more stupid people locked up.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yep,
seen, especially with these kids and stuff, man, with this
I like
TikTok
it.
stuff and fucking with people, man. I remember someone was like, some in some places we need to bring bullying back. I was like, damn. So,
Yeah,
but but yeah, man. Cello. We
you.
already. I'm sorry. Yeah.
We said seller. We've repeated
Yeah.
seller now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't worry, this will still take 625.
I get confused, man. I don't know what we said now.
Yeah, we just Nick and I are just chilling. This is how I imagine being high is. I've never been high. I've never smoked weed, but this is how I imagine it. Not catching everyone's drift and like
Nah.
only catching the ends of it. But I'm probably far off. I'm probably miles off being this.
Yeah. It's. I mean, it's not this bad, but yeah, yeah. It's pretty close. Um, this weekend I had went to the Tranmere Rovers match.
Yeah, you were super close to the
Hey,
sideline there. You
I
were
was
literally in the field. You
yeah.
could have been in the coach's box, Nick. You could have given the halftime talk.
Well, I was where I was sitting. It was two people next to me, then a small little gap for like the steps to go up, and then it was the bench. And
Damn.
like if obviously I wouldn't, but the coach I was next to I didn't know which side the which bench was the home bench before I got my tickets, so I was next to the away bench, and but if I wanted to, the coach was probably about, or the manager, the gaffer, whatever I call him, was probably about
Mm.
5 steps away. So I could have like just reached out to him, but I was very close. Um, Two things about that though. One, I've watched a lot of soccer matches, football matches,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, and you know you hear them kicking it and whatnot. It is my first time ever being that close because there's a in Louisville we have a football team, soccer team, and they're not MLS or like the tier under. I think it's like USL or something like that. But nice big stadium, nice solid teams, amazing stadium, really. And but I never sat close to the pitch because it's kind of expensive tickets. And so this is my first time sitting close. These dudes, the sound it makes when these dudes are kicking that ball, yo, yo. And this is not Premier League. They're like what, National League 2 or something like that. They're like a few rungs down.
Yeah.
And these dudes, I like you hear it on TV, but to be that close and you hear them kicking this ball, yo, them dudes be booting that ball. Like it sounds like a
Yeah.
gunshot every time they kick it. And sometimes when they kick it, dudes a jump and they like block it. So someone like a jump and hit him in the leg or the back. And I'm like, there's no way you ain't got bruises all over your legs and your thighs, man.
Nice,
Boy,
nice shiners. Nice
boy.
shiners.
I was like, yo. It was a few times because where I was sitting, and I was like, I was kind of nervous. I was gonna kick a ball that's gonna come over here to me, and I'm like, if it comes directly at me like full speed, I'm not gonna try to catch it. I'm gonna dodge it. Whoever's behind me is they're just screwed. If it's a floater, I'll catch it. But if someone boots it and it comes directly for me, I'm going to move. And whoever's around me, I'm not saving anybody. It was a woman next to me and a guy on the other side. And I'm like, I don't know either one of y'all. So if this ball comes full speed, the way they kicking this, y'all are on your own. So
Ooh.
yeah, bro, they was booting it. And secondly, one of my friends, one of the guys on the flag football team that I play with here, he works for the Rovers, the Tranmere Rovers, and he told me those seats that I had are great in the summer. They're not great around the time I went because what you will see on English, or at least in the UK, when you check the weather and it says it's not going to rain, it's going to rain. Okay, it's going to rain,
Mm-hmm.
and it rained, and
And you were
and
you were in the rain.
I was not under the what do you call it, the
The the roof.
the roof thing. Yeah. I was not under that,
Yeah, yeah.
so I got caught. It wasn't like a heavy rain, but it was a nice misty rain for about 45 minutes. So I didn't get soaked, but I was wet, and
Yeah.
I was like, and that's when I told him. He was like, yeah. He was like, you got some good seats in the summertime, in the springtime. Not now. Not. He's like, next time you need to go sit. You need to sit a little bit further up, or have an umbrella or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Be more cozy. Be more cozy up in the top.
Yeah. So yeah, and but it was cool, man. They ended up drawing. I was upset. I wanted to see it go, but it was a draw, which apparently was good because Tranmere is 17th in the league, and Crew was 5th. So they were like, it's kind of good for them that they got a draw. Um,
Okay.
and I was the Tranmere is blue. So I'm thinking, all right, I'm gonna wear some blue stuff. I'm about to come in, looking like I'm part of the crew. I ain't trying to look like a tourist, like it's my first game. I had some blue Jordans on, some black pants, black hoodie or whatever. I had like a blue nice jacket on. I'm like, I'm about to match. I'm about to come in here. I'm about to blend in. Man, no, everybody wearing black. Everybody wears black.
Yeah.
The whole crowd had on black coats, black hats, black shoes. You might say like a blue scarf. So I stuck out. If you watch the game, I guarantee you can point me out easily. Easily. I was just like, yeah.
You just a big black guy in blue
Yeah.
in a crowd. Yeah. Sure.
A crowd of all white people because there was no other black people. The only two other black dudes were on the pitch playing.
I knew that. I told you last week. The only black guys you're gonna see is on the field.
It was two other black guys and they were on the field. So
Yeah.
I was the only one not. So yeah.
I'm not surprised someone came to say, "Are you part of like the traveling team? Are you injured? Are you on the injured reserves list?"
Well,
I'm surprised no one came and asked for your autograph like they do in China.
I had a few looks though, I came fly. I had my
Yeah.
shoes on. I was fitted. Had a little bit of shiny jewelry on. I was fly. So I came fly. I had a few looks, and I'm sitting front row, so it's a little status. but uh, but
Nah.
yeah, man.
You see, if I hadn't met you, if I don't know you, and I look at you, I'm like, this guy's famous. There's something about him. He plays something. He does something.
Yeah, I had a few looks. But no, I think no, it didn't say nothing to me. But it was cool, man.
Okay.
I had a great time. Tranmere Rovers, apparently they're not doing great in the league. Obviously, Liverpool is right across the river, but tickets for Liverpool are crazy to get because we're on the waiting list. Uh, I know the waiting list for Burnley tickets. I'm on the waiting list. I'm number 20,000. So I don't think I'm getting that ticket.
27.
No,
Did you say 27 there?
20,000.
20,000. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I'm getting the ticket.
Ah.
But Tranmere, hey, I told him I was like, hey, I might have a new fan. You know, tickets is easy to get. It's right down the street, and
yeah,
the stadium ain't massive, but it can fit 16,000 people. I'm like, I can slide in there, man. That ain't too bad for me.
that's good. That's decent.
Yeah, so I was like,
It's footy. It's live footy.
Yeah. So I was like, I told Luce, like, hey, you know, I know we Liverpool fans, but we about to hit some of these Tranmere matches, man.
Yeah, that's definitely something worth it. You know, it's
Yeah.
exactly what we do here in Liaoning. We're the Liaoning supporters now. We go when we can.
Have y'all been going to the games? I've seen you been posting about it.
Yeah. So we've been to about now 3 games.
Okay.
3 games now. Since so we're going to our 4th game in March.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have a break now because of Chinese New Year.
Okay.
But yeah, it's been really good. They won. I keep track with them on the TV. So sometimes when they play, I put the match on the background, and yeah, they've been doing really really well. I don't think they'll ever listen to this, but Kevin Fogg is the point guard number 4 for Liaoning Leopards. He's really really good.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy him. He's from America. And then Nick's doppelganger. How do I say it? Doppelganger.
Doppelganger?
How do you call it like a doppelganger?
Yeah.
Doppelganger. Yeah, you call it a doppelganger.
Yeah.
Yes, my pronunciation is solid. Eric Moreland. I swear on my life, every time I watch Eric Moreland play, I'm like, this is Nick playing, man. I can just see Nick. Nick could just fit in here. And this is exactly why people would mistaken you for a basketball player in China, because you are Eric Moreland's twin.
But I guarantee you he's taller than me.
I think you're bulkier than him, quite a bit. But in terms of like just tattoos, dreadlocks, your face structure even, and your skin tone, same oak. Your twin plays for the Flying Leopards.
I guarantee you he's taller than me.
Yeah, he is. He's probably taller than you, but you are wider and I think more built than him. But yeah, so that's yeah. So Nick has a twin here, and every time we watch him, I'm just like, "There's Nick playing," and then everyone looks at me like, "Huh?" I'm like, "That does seriously look like Nick bouncing a basketball." It does. It does.
But yeah, man, it's been a good one. Did you want to? You said you wanted to talk about these over celebrations.
Yeah, like.
So give me a little background to it. I'm already going to say something, but just give me your little background take on it.
I don't know what's the. Yeah, like. Oh, what is? Okay, so celebrating now. If you guys watch the NFL, these guys celebrate 10 yards.
Mm-hmm.
These guys celebrate a tackle.
Mm-hmm.
They celebrate anything but points.
Mm-hmm. We celebrate points too, I mean. But we celebrate everything.
Yeah. You celebrate a yard.
Mm-hmm.
The running back is going to make a yard. He gets the first down again. Another yard.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So when someone scores a goal in football out of 2 goals, please celebrate.
Don't let that be
no
me.
No matter which team it is, celebrate.
Yeah.
Because we call for more passion. You call for more passion in sport. You want people to watch it. You want people to get involved. You want people to have fun. Yes, there is times where like celebrations are personal digs at other people, like the style of celebrations, yes. But if you running down the touchline, shouting and screaming and high fiving the fans, there is nothing wrong with that.
Hmm.
I don't care if you draw in the game, you've got to go back, you won the game. It's you don't know when you're going to win the next game. Enjoy the win. You guys train weekly, you train daily, you're in the gym, just celebrate, enjoy it. There are people that might say they over celebrate.
Yeah, it's I obviously there's a limit to celebrating. There's
Yes.
obviously a limit that, but like you said, man, because we're talking about Arteta with from the manager at Arsenal, and Arsenal were beating Liverpool, and they're at home, and he was like, I think like the second or third goal, he ran that down the sideline. He was pumped up. I didn't see nothing wrong with it. I didn't see nothing wrong with it. I'm like, my guy is turned
Yeah, like
because all the pundits had Liverpool winning that game, and my guy was turned up. So when I saw like the next day people were upset about he celebrating, I'm just like, that's not y'all upset he celebrating. Y'all just hating because he won. That's what it really is.
yeah, that see,
Y'all hate that he
that's
won,
the
so you
thing
got to
though.
find
Like
something that he quote unquote
just
did
enjoy the
wrong.
win. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Nothing wrong with fist pumping or jumping up and down. Like he didn't go and scream in front of the other managers or the other players. He didn't berate. He didn't belittle anyone. He just celebrated on his own
yeah,
side of the field.
yeah, it's one of those. And that video you sent me, the dude was like, "There's two clubs that everybody in the UK hates, and that's Man United and Arsenal. If them teams do anything good, the country's going to find something that you do. We hate that y'all came out of the stadium and you took a left foot first and you didn't step with your right foot. How dare you? They'll find something. And it's funny because obviously I've never really been into the culture like that until I really got here. Well, when I met Lucy, but since being here, and I don't have I'm not like my girl and her family are Liverpool fans. I am a fan by proxy, but the Man United hate is crazy.
Yeah, they are like I mean, I just think the history behind Man United. The thing is that they've had such long domination,
Right. And I get
and
it. I
now
get it.
they're not that good.
Yeah.
They're not that good. So people are like now they're just saying we couldn't hate you because we couldn't find any reason to belittle you with Sir Alex Ferguson because you just kept beating us.
Right.
But now that
But
you
it
guys
is funny
struggle
because
at
when I hear
times,
they're like, oh, they're
then
not good
everyone's after
anymore.
them.
But I'm
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
they're not good,
Like
but they're still
as an Arsenal
finishing
fan,
like
I am.
top 8, top 7 in the
Yeah, yeah,
league.
yeah. Yeah, so like for me, if Man United don't finish in top four, I'm still going, yes, please. Yes, they're not finishing in the top four. Thank goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Moving moving on from over celebrations and our lovely gaps, because we talking over one another. So I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys, if you guys are watching this episode for the first time and you're a first Paddy for the first time and you see this absolute rubbish of a show,
We tried.
this inter-
This editing this episode is going to be a rough one. I can tell you that.
yeah. Riverside AI, you're gonna be earning your dollar today. That's for sure. Riverside AI, you're gonna be earning.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, that was a bit of a rough one. Um Outside of that, Super Bowl's coming up. Um
Yeah, you guys have made it. You guys made it so boring. Like, I mean, really, America 49ers versus Kansas
yeah,
City Chiefs.
man, it's
Everyone wants it the other way. Everyone wanted the Detroit Lions versus the Baltimore
that's
Ravens. That would have been a
that
nice.
was what the people wanted, but the NFL wanted Chiefs 49ers because of money they bringing in, especially with T Swift.
Yeah, that's true.
And then it's just one of those like the 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 Chiefs have become ideally the Patriots or like Man City. It's like you're just tired of seeing them in a championship all the time now.
Yeah, it's getting
It's
boring.
getting,
Sorry, Don.
yeah,
Sorry, Don. But
and like,
I mean, Kansas City Chiefs.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's just like again, and then the 49ers are cool, but their whole thing is they just talk too much shit, like way too much shit. And then their quarterback Brock Purdy, it's his second year, and
yeah,
don't get me wrong, he's nice, but people be talking about him like he's already like there's the whole debate with him and Cam Newton. It's like, oh, he's already done more than Cam Newton did. He did it, and I'm like, bro, I get that. Like if he wins, him and Cam didn't win. It's a lot of great quarterbacks that never won. But I was like, there's no way that you're going to tell me Brock Purdy now. No offense to him. If you were starting an NFL team and you had the option to pick between Brock Purdy now, I'm assuming this is prime Cam Newton, prime Michael Vick, prime Vince Young, prime, you not picking Brock Purdy. Like you're not.
yeah.
You're not. Or you just don't know football. This is your first year watching it.
No.
I'm just like, there's no.
Yeah, no. There is elements to it.
Yeah, it is.
There is elements when it comes to like you're not. He's good for the system,
Right.
and I think that's what Sheringham has done really well. Is that? But that's the thing, though. That's sports.
Right.
That's the beauty of sports. Is when you have a great organization, a great manager, a great coach. You don't buy the best players.
Right.
You buy the best players for your team.
Right.
You find the right players that are going to make your team great. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. You're not. You don't need to buy the best players. Not every team can have the best players in every position. No, you want the best player for your organization. Which player is going to fight for your team? And that's for all sport, especially club football. Not club, but club sport. Sorry, club sport. Like, if you are buying players, you are buying players because there are the best players for that team. Like, for example, I've had a chat with someone. What was that new Man United striker that cost 70 odd million pounds? Hoyland, I think his
Oh
name is
yeah.
Hoyland, the
The young dude.
It's not the Norwegian. He's something else.
Hoyland.
But Hoyland, that's it. But he's not. I don't think he was the best player that United needed. But if you take his price tag and you compare it to a player like Rodrigo for Man City, Rodrigo was cheaper.
Yeah.
And he was more under the radar. However, he's the player for that team. Pep Guardiola went and said, I need that player. Not the best player, not the best player in that position. I need that player. And that's what the 49ers have been doing really well, in my opinion, is that they buy that player for that position to better their organization.
Yeah.
Well, trade, however the NFL does it.
So yeah, but nah, this Super Bowl, man, it honestly, even on like social media, it hasn't gotten a hype as normal Super Bowls do.
Nah.
Of course, it's still gonna have odd hundreds of million people watching, but it's.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are more excited for the halftime show. And yeah, it hasn't really
Is
got
Tiesto playing?
as much
I heard
hype.
Tiesto is going to be the first DJ playing at halftime.
Is he?
Yeah, I believe Tiesto is playing.
All I know is Usher is singing, but that's it.
Yeah,
But
I believe Tiesto is playing.
But yeah,
at the
man,
halftime. Tiesto.
that and then I had a
Super Bowl.
conversation with someone about the whole Taylor Swift shit, and
We don't have to.
yeah,
We don't have to talk about Taylor Swift.
yeah. I was just like my only argument was I was just like, no one cares if she's there. That's fine, but it's just for me, it's like just imagine that every time, let's just say you play basketball, like
Yeah.
LeBron James's wife, his wife is named Savannah. Let's just say every time he shot a shot and he scored, we had to go see how Savannah's reacting. Like, that shit would get annoying very fast. So, but anyways, yeah, let's move on from that.
Yeah.
before
Well, Tiesto. So I'm reading here. Tiesto will be Super Bowl is getting its own in-game DJ,
Oh,
and it will be Tiesto. Yeah, it will be Tiesto. That's what I meant. Halftime show is Usher, but for the first time ever, the Super Bowl is getting its own in-game DJ.
the
Tiesto.
Super Bowl's gonna be trash this year, man. I think that's why they're trying to throw all this extra shit at. Plus, it's in Vegas, so anybody who has a residency in Vegas, because it's going to be Super Bowls are already star-studded. All the celebrities come out, but like when it's in Vegas or L.A. or like New York, something like that, but especially Vegas. I mean, it's Vegas. It's going to be crazy amount of celebrities are going to be there. So yeah, did you see the Christian McCaffrey? He couldn't afford the suite for his family.
He couldn't afford the suite for his
So like
family.
the suite, so his mom was like, so he plays for the team, but to get a suite like a private suite up at the top, uh, it costs like 8 million, 8.9 million, and
Damn.
he was like, his mom was like, we can't afford that. His mom was like, we don't even like, we just can't afford it.
Not even NFL players can afford hotel
Yeah,
suites.
isn't that crazy that you can play in a game and you can't afford tickets to your own game? Like
Nope, that's ridiculous.
that would be
I'm out.
yeah.
I'm not chasing any more sport dreams. I'm not gonna try and chase
It's like
sport dreams, and that's gonna be
or
it.
or even if it's not even afforded, I just feel like as a player,
That's
I feel like
crazy.
each
Imagine
player
that.
should at least be allowed, if they wanted, one free suite for their family. Or not like every player, but like
Oh
at least
yeah.
if you're like a starter, like if you're a star player, if you're a
You mean like
starter,
one of your best
yeah,
players?
exactly, exactly. He should get a free suite for his family. So they didn't give it to him for free, but his girlfriend is Olivia Culpo. I think she's like a singer or actress. I'm not entirely sure. Uh, is she an actress? I've seen her name before, but she's famous. She's got a lot of money, and she came out. She's like, no, I got it. She paid for the suite. But it's just funny because this whole thing was like all over the internet, all over the news, and the stadium or the NFL didn't think to step in and just get it for him. He's in the running for MVP, and they just did not help him pay for this.
So
I was like,
messed up.
boy,
So messed up.
boy. So
Well, moving on, moving from this boring Super Bowl that's coming
yeah,
up. Let's talk. We got two questions,
hmm
and I wonder if Nick is going to hear the questions through this great technology that we've been
I
using.
think I'll hear the questions. It's just who's going to hear the responses. But
All right, so
first,
I'm gonna hit Nick with this
first, first,
question.
first,
First question.
first.
Which one?
What I was going to say about you is
About
yeah.
me?
So this past weekend when I went to the Tranmere match, I was home by myself for the whole weekend. Loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. Don't get me wrong. I love my shorty. But having that weekend to myself, no dog, my girl ain't here. Whew. Ooh, it was amazing, man. It was beautiful. Uh, but she went to a girls trip for Stacy's birthday. They went to something with, one of those Welsh towns. I don't know, Clally or some shit. But they went to somewhere.
I don't like the way this is going, but
But anyway,
okay,
no, no,
continue.
no. It was nothing bad. But anyway, so Lucy and her girls, they went to some house and they were they had to play some game, and in the game they had to like do accents. Like, can you like do
Oh
this in an
god.
Australian accent or a Russian accent? And apparently Jenny, Lucy's sister, is very good in accents. So it came up and it was like, can you do a South African accent? And she and apparently she just mimicked you. She just everything you said over Christmas, she just repeated all that. Because I think you were the first South
um,
African she's ever
you know,
met.
you know, that actually has made my day. It has made my day that I have been recognized by a British person for my South African accents. Because people here think I'm British. I have this weird South African accent. I don't have your natural South African
Yeah.
accent. A lot of people will say, like, I don't have it. I know I don't have the very thick, specific English accent there or the thick Afrikaans accent. I have a very neutral accent for South Africans. However, when I'm talking to people here, they all think I'm British. They're like, you sound so British. And I'm just like, I'm not. I'm South African. I've got a South African accent. I haven't changed. And to hear this story, thank you, Jenny. You're the best for this because I am so glad that you used my voice for South Africa. I love it. I'm in. There we go.
Yeah,
Great.
Lucy.
And
Uh
I love it.
huh.
And talking about accents, we had a question from James, a fellow Ghana on Instagram, saying, "Has our accents have they ever? Does any girl want to? Is any girl attracted to us just because of our accent?" And I'm gonna shoot this to Nick.
Uh,
Has any like?
I don't know if it's ever been like I can't on maybe if I think deep enough, but as of now, I can't think of like a girl ever coming to me and was like, "Oh, I love your accent." It's one of those like when they hear it, they just, especially in China, they just know it's obvious. Well, obviously, when they see you, they know that you're not from here. But
Yes.
yeah, just one of those like. I don't think it's just like, oh, I like your accent. I think it's one of those. Your accent is different. It's American, and then I have I'm from the South ish of the U.S. I don't have like a deep Southern drawl, but I have a deep voice, and
Yeah.
so I get that a lot. So yeah, I don't think in China. I don't think I've had China and Cambodia and stuff when I've traveled around. I don't think it's ever been like, oh, I love your accent. I think it's just one of those. Uh, your accent is different. I like it. Oh, it sounds so good. But I will say I've had more instances of that here in the UK. Uh, when
Hmm.
starting my job, I can think of three times. One time when I started my current job, we were like online doing some training or something, and I was talking, and I never really talk, but I was talking in like the meeting or something, and one of the trainer girl, Jen, I think her name was Jennifer, she was like, "Oh, I just love Nick's deep, smooth accent. It just sounds like butter when he talks." Oh, I was like, okay. And then
Ooh,
option
Mister Buttery
option
Nick,
two,
Mister Buttery Nick. Ooh.
number two was when when you came here, we went to that place called Gerard's to get like those sausage rolls, pastries, whatever. Me, you, and Corey went on that walk.
Mm.
The lady
Yeah,
that
yeah.
works in there, like the first or second time I'd ever been in there, we had me and Lucy went in, walked Frankie, went to go get something, whatever. And I was talking to the lady, and she was just like, "Oh," she was like, "You can just read me bedtime stories to bed. I could just go to sleep to your voice. Oh, yeah, I just love your voice." And I was like, okay." So that was a little,
Mm.
yeah.
Sweet, sweet Buttery
And
Nick.
then, and then the
Mm-mm-mm.
only other,
You need to change your Instagram handle, man. You need to change your Instagram handle. You got to be Sweet Buttery
that's sweet.
Nick.
That sounds a little
Yeah.
suspect.
I'm gonna get.
Sweet buttery.
I am you gonna push this Mr.
No,
D. I'm gonna push Sweet Buttery Nick.
see,
Mm.
see, that's a little weird coming from you because if you go to you say, "Hey, this is my friend, Sweet Buttery Nick," they're gonna think we're together. They're gonna think we're doing stuff together.
So hold on here. So Nick, obviously Nick and I. So now I don't know if Nick ever knows, but on my screensaver, if my main screensaver, people can see, is Nick and I on my
Yeah,
screensaver. So it's Nick and I at
yeah, yeah,
Lewis's
yeah.
wedding. We were in our slick Chinese outfits. Now, So people like when we're talking and they're like, "Oh, who's Nick?" Because some people haven't met Nick. Most of the colleagues that I work with haven't met Nick, but they're like, and then they were like, "He's on your screensaver." So I was like, "Yeah, he's my bro." And they're like, and like the Chinese people don't really know how to react. And like I think Greta, Norina, and Olivia saw it, and they were like, "Oh, that's cute." And everyone was still like, "He's got a guy on his thing." I'm just like, "What?" I was like, "I'm leaving it. I'm not even gonna go try and explain this. All right, he's my man. He's my man, but he's not my man. He's Lucy's man, but he's my bro. There we go. All right, that's it. So." There it is. He's on my screensaver. I'm showing everyone my screensaver. There he is. No, there we go. See? He's on there. He's on there. And that's it. That's it. So yeah, sweet
Oh
buttery
God.
Nick
Oh God.
live.
Oh God.
Episode 19.
18.
Episode 19. No, episode 19's introduction. I'm making a note here. Episode 19.
I'm not gonna remind you, so I'm hoping you forget this.
Buttery Nick. Don't you worry, Buttery Nick. I got you.
Oh God. But the other time that someone's ever said anything about my accent, and I said it in a previous pod, maybe like episode 2, was when that old lady, I came up behind her. And she shot her shot.
Okay, see Nick. Yeah. See, Nick's voice has a lot more action than my voice. A lot more actions. Action. Your accent has received more action than my accent. Yeah, that's.
But me being with Lucy, I don't think Lucy's ever said anything about my accent. Nothing like, "Oh, you have a sexy accent." Nothing like that.
I think it's different when some.
But when we met, though, when I first met Lucy, she was overworked 1,000%. Yeah, the first time I met her, I think I said in the podcast, they brought me to the school because we were working together. We sat next to each other, and the first day they brought me to this school, they were like, they showed me my desk and everything in Chongbai, which is like a little area of Shenyang, and they were like, "Yeah, you're gonna meet, Lucy. She's from the UK. She's gonna come in and speak to you." I was like, "All right." She was in a class, and I remember when she came in, she looked just worked. Mind you, it was already hot, and she looked worked. Her hair was just like frazzled. She just looked like Shorty been working. And I remember when I seen it, I was like, "Damn!" I was like, "You must have been here for about a good 2-3 years. Like you've been working, girl." And I was like, "How long you been here?" And she was like, "A month." I'm like, "Oh hell no, you only been here." I'm like, "It's my."
How are you still
I was like,
there? I would have been on my bike.
I'd have been like, "It's
I'm out
it's
of
a
here.
month." No, I'm about to. This ain't for me. I'm about to get that flight back home.
Yep. Oh, but I'm on the computer.
Yeah.
Bye.
So I was, yeah.
See ya. We haven't got your visa approved, don't
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But yeah, so yeah, I don't think I've never really had more so British in China. I think in China, especially the big cities, they're used to when they see foreigners, they just know it's going to be an accent. But it was cool in China when people would more so a lot of Chinese people that I spoke to, and even Africans, uh, knew that I wasn't because I was expecting everyone to think that I was African, and because of the African population, especially with black men, in at least in Shenyang, and I was expecting to think I'm from like Nigeria or some shit. I don't know, but I've had a few Chinese people and African people tell me like, "No, we knew you were an African. Soon as they see me walking, or the way I dressed, or the way you carried yourself, they were just like, we could just tell you're not African." I think I had a Chinese girl tell me that one time. So yeah, what about yourself, man? You ain't got down with the accent.
All right. Question number 2 for the podcast. Who do you want this to go to?
You, I be talking.
How? All right, so I'm going to answer this one. So the question comes into is like, how do you deal So I don't think we've really tackled this issue. But how do you deal with missing things back home? So like, or back where you came from. So like birthday celebrations and different events that happen. And I think in my case, how do you deal with missing people's things? So, like my dad's 70th coming up, how do I deal missing that? You know, I was fortunate enough to spend some of the holiday with my mom last Christmas, but obviously the last few years has been missing a lot of events and celebrations. But like, how do you deal with it? And I think the thing here is it's just there is no right way or right answer in dealing with it. It's how it's just you got to find out if you can, and if you're willing to, and what obviously you got to
Yeah.
balance. How do I put it? Like consequences, obviously, but like for me, it was much easier than some people around me because I grew up in boarding school, and I think I missed certain things already. I missed milestones, moments, whatever it may be. So I can't tell you how many times I missed a family holiday because I was still at school or in boarding school and my family went here or my dad went here, my mom went here. They're doing this, they're doing this. Oh, all the fam's going here, all the fam's going here. And all I was doing was, sure, I'm staying at school. Can't do anything about it. And that was like almost like forced missing it. But then was like, okay, cool. I'm dealing with it. And then obviously like I think the last time I spent more than a month with my mom, like consistently with my mom, like 4 weeks with my mom, I think was like when I was 15 years old, one holiday. So, like, yeah, being away from family for me has always been easy. Not in the sense of like, oh, I'm glad I missed this event. No, I'm not happy that I missed the events, but like, it's become part of my fabric of growing up. It's just like cool. All right, there's other ways that you can catch up with people. So yeah, I think missing things is never easy, and it's all everyone will have their different ways of dealing with it. Some people might struggle in the beginning or get used to it. Some people will probably never get used to it and bite the bullets as much as it hurts and see. And again, I think if we take it back, I think COVID taught a lot of people who they really were when it came to like being away from home. Like, I can't be away from home this much. This is not what I want. This is not who I am. And I think there was a lot of people that did a reality check in terms of what they're capable of doing or what they really wanted or what was important. And I think, people around us, like I think Nick and I have had people around us that have really been like, no, we need to be near home. This is it. We need to be as close as possible to our families. And I think that's again, it's priorities, What's your priority? Is your priority to go find yourself, to go out there, to experience something new? Then you've obviously got to leave things behind. So, yeah, I think dealing with that and missing with that, it's all why are you doing it? What's the purpose? And I think if you backtrack to a couple of episodes ago, we all say you are leaving your home country for a purpose. And that purpose is going to give you the strength to face the things that you're actually leaving behind. So yeah,
Nice,
a little bit of a self
nice,
check there.
nice. I love it. I love to hear it, man. No, it's yeah, like
Yeah.
it's if you're going to live the expat life, you're going to have to sacrifice. Like even me being
Hmm.
here in the UK, uh, it's I still got to miss stuff at home. My mom's birthday is in like a month, uh, and my sister's birthday. Christmas has just went past. Stuff like that. It's I'm still here with my second family, but like you said, you things will have to be sacrificed. Without COVID, it'll make it a little bit easier to go to travel to these places and see your family, friends, or they come to you, whatever.
Hmm.
But yeah, man, it's a sacrifice, and it's yeah, it's and I would never say it's selfish. I've heard people say before, like, you missing certain things. It could be, some people could see it as, you're being a bit selfish, but I'm just like, at the end of the day, yeah, you
Mm.
love your mom, your dad, your sister's brother, family. I get that. But you still gotta, it's still just you. Like, at the end of the day, it's
Yeah,
you. And if they really love you like they say that they do, or they care about you, they're going to want to see you expand and explore, you know? And that was one of
absolutely.
the,
Back
like,
yourself.
when I was still in China, and even though COVID was going on and the borders were closed, but we could still do everything we wanted to in the country. I remember talking to my dad,
Yeah,
and I remember telling my dad, he was like, how you doing, man? I'm like, I'm good, man. But I was like, I said, but I miss y'all. I'm missing birthdays and I miss births and weddings and deaths. Like, I told him, I was like, I really miss y'all and I can't wait to come back. And my dad's words were, and I tell people this all the time. He told me, we love you, but he said, don't come back here because we're doing the same thing we
mm.
were doing when you left. He was like, go. And he was like, what you're doing now, most people in our family, outside of if
Yeah,
they went to the military, will have never or will never get these chances that you're taking. We'll never see these countries that you're going to. We'll never meet these people. So my
exactly.
dad was like, go and see all that shit while you can. Because there's going to be a day, and I hate to say it, but
Yeah,
it's going to be a day where your parents are no longer here, or you're no longer here, or your grandparents. It's going to be, those days are going to, sad to say, they're going to eventually come. Hopefully, it's going to be another 60, 70, 80 years,
yeah,
but they will come. And
yeah,
it would be so much better to have these stories of these people that you met at these crazy lands that you went to and explored. Like, even, granted, I was in China and I only went to, like, I remember I went to, like, we went to Mongolia for like 5 days or 6 days or something. And for me, I had a great time. But when I went home and I was like, and my family, go, oh, where'd you go to? Oh, I traveled to Mongolia. And I say it so casually, but they were like, Mongolia. They were like, eyes lit up because they never think of these places. They never been to these places. Never have the opportunity to go to these kind of places. You know, that's not, obviously everybody wants to go to like
so true.
Bali and Indonesia and stuff like that. But they were like, it's just cool to see that somebody in the family is doing this. And so it is a
Yeah,
sacrifice, but I also like to look at it as, and like, you got a little, a niece. Was he a niece that you shower your little cousin, that girl? Yeah,
mm-hmm. Yeah,
those kids is under us, our next generation, our younger cousins, brothers, sisters, whatever's. They're also
this is
looking at
true.
us, and kids soak in everything. So, and I
Yeah,
think, at least for me, I growing up, I didn't have someone that was traveling the world. And I'm saying it's like that's the only thing to do. Obviously, I had people that I was looking up to doing other things, but like, as far as like traveling the world, seeing things outside of the U.S., outside of the bubble that you grew up in, I didn't have that. So
yeah,
now that I've done that, when I go home and I talk to my little cousins or nieces, nephews, whatever, I'm in their ear. Go somewhere, travel somewhere. Don't just go to the next state. Don't go to Florida. Uh, in the U.S., everyone is like, "Oh, I've been out of the country. Where'd you go to?" Uh, It'll be at best Jamaica or Mexico. And I'm like, no, go further. And I'm not saying just go to China. Yeah, and I'm not
cross
saying
the
just go to
seas,
China. Just go
cross the seas.
somewhere that, obviously, be safe, but just go somewhere, see some work somewhere. Because if I had somebody in my area like I'm
Yeah,
trying to do to these kids now, to my family now, dude, I would have went to I still went to college. After college, bro, I'd have been gone, been left the country.
yeah, same here, same here. Like, you're so right there. If someone did was doing it, and you'd be like, they're doing it,
Right.
I can do it, and it's just such a great experience to just be like,
And right.
try it. There's nothing wrong with trying.
And it's crazy because, at least, not to get too deep into it, but it was crazy because the first person that I knew in my family that was like traveling to these, like, especially Asian countries or Middle Eastern countries, was Corey. And Corey's my little cousin. Corey's like maybe like 4 or 5 years
Yeah,
younger than me. But he had been to Dubai, spent like a summer or two in Dubai. We had some family out there. He's been to Australia, he has some family in Australia. He's lived and worked in Thailand.
Yeah.
So he's been doing it. And when China came up, and I was very like, I don't know, man, I don't know. I talked to Corey, and Corey was like, "Cuz, like, man, go do it. Go do it, man. I'm telling you, you're not going to regret it. If you do, go
Yeah.
back home. But I'm telling you, you're going to have a ball." He was one of those people that
Yeah.
pushed me. So, and like I said, that's my little cousin. So, yeah, man, it's going back to the point, it's a sacrifice, but I think it's a sacrifice worth making.
So true.
Yeah.
All right, sir.
Uh,
Coming to the end of episode
yeah.
18. Let's hit these peeps with the jad that let's hit these peeps with the dad joke.
Before that, small little
Oh,
point. I'm not gonna drop any names, but one of Lucy's sort of kind of a friend. I've met her, but it's one of her best friend slash coworker. I'm not gonna drop any names, not gonna say anything about the situation. But a situation happened. I'll tell you about it off the pod, but a situation happened in Morocco, and shit got bad.
Oh.
So my advice is, and now it's because it happened, because you hear this story that I'll tell you later. You hear about these things. This will hit very close. It's as close I've ever been to something like this. And so my thing is, for people who are traveling, obviously if you're going to go live abroad, that's different. But if you're just traveling to travel, see the world, whatever, please invest in travel insurance. It's not that expensive.
Yes.
It's not that expensive. It obviously is going to be a little bit more than your trip in total. But if some shit happens, if something pops off, if you get hurt or someone does something to you, maybe it might not be an embassy around for wherever you're from. Please, please, please get travel insurance. It's worth it, and it's better to be safe than sorry. We're going to Portugal, and I got a trip in March I'm not allowed to talk to about yet, but we're going to Portugal in 2 weeks. Yeah. We already bought travel insurance. Get travel insurance. Like I said, it's not cheap. I think for me and Lucy, it was like £10. And I mean, I said not cheap. It's not expensive. I'm sorry. Please get travel insurance.
Yeah. It's affordable.
Yes, it covers a lot, because if something happens, your pockets or your family's pockets going to be hit hard. And I hope nothing ever happens, but if it does, travel insurance. I'm right now, I'm a big ambassador for it. I don't care what company it is. Please go protect it. Please do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally agree. I mean, if I'm visiting you in England and I'm visiting my mom in Spain, for that entire time period, I buy travel insurance the whole time that I'm away.
Highly recommend it. But yeah, dad jokes, man. I got 2.
You got 2? I got 1. My one's a classic. It's a
all right. So my first one. Yes, why is your mom a terrible comedian? Yeah. It took her 9 months to make a joke. See, it's not cool when you say I've heard it. What's your joke, man?
Ooh. What's my joke?
Mm-hmm. Nice. Very homely joke. I got another one. It's called what do you call a respected homosexual?
Ooh, this is good.
You call him Sergey. I laughed. Oh wait! I got one more. I forget. I found one more.
Oh my
god! I want to open up a Vietnamese noodle restaurant called Pho King, and our tagline is not just good; it's Pho King delicious.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is sweet.
Oh God, please
Buttery
don't.
Nick.
We're not
dropping the bombs.
We're not doing this. You're gonna forget next week, and then
sweet Buttery Nick. Sweet Buttery Nick with it.
This is please be the end of episode 18.
This is the end of episode 18. We love you, Paddies. We hope you've enjoyed this wonderful episode that we've dragged ourselves through, but we've done it. We have succeeded in pretending to listen to ourselves and picking up ends of conversation. Bye bye.